So we've successfully got the situation set up, and I can see his response. He is curious. Nothing that I would call inappropriate, but a little more curiosity than I would prefer for his age. Isn't he like 3?
Yeah.
That's like a year-old stuff.
Leagues ahead of how he was 2 years ago. Remember the lunging, the barking, the spinning.
I think that set his socialization back a bit because he was just always reactive. He never got to do any as much as he should have. So we'll work on his socialization while he's here and see if we can get a nice chunk of work done. He's not in that bad a shape, honestly, as far as there's the little things that add up like that.
That was a squeak.
Go, get out of here.
The tea kettle. The tea kettle squeak.
Good, stay right there. All right, send him away. Now you can only really do this during the setups. We get to the point where the setups, we can't get them to make a mistake. We'll try to set up setups out in the real world so it'll feel real for him, with Gabby and with Julie and with different dogs. But then there comes a point where we just have to do it in the real world, and I'm not always going to be able to send him away, although this is the best to begin with. But by then, it's not about the send away, it's about what his mind is over there. That's what the correction will equal, is that mind, and that'll be able to be right here next to me. I just like to use the send because it's so clear to him that I don't want you involved in this. But if he's sitting right here, you're gonna whine. If I correct him firmly, which I did, because we can't put up with it, and I send him away, that's the pattern. That's what he's gonna get when he whines. When he doesn't whine, he's gonna get a good boy.
Yeah.
He's also gonna get a good boy right now. During this rep, I'm gonna let him know that this is the mind I like. Good boy. Because I'm really taking that mind. I'm saying, see that mind? I like that. It's not about you're down 10 feet away. It's about that mind. Please keep that, okay? In a situation when you feel yourself ready to whine, because the thing is the whine's going to, he's going to realize as soon as he makes that noise, he's gonna say, whoops. And then he's gonna say, what am I supposed to do? And he'll end up offering that, and then I'll say, that's right. That's the alternative to whining. Instead of whining, do that. That mind, meaning you're disengaged. He's disengaged because he's 10 feet away and he knows I'm not going to let him up here, so he's like, well, fine, and just sits, and no more whining. Whining is all the possibilities. I could sniff his butt, I could go over here, I could do, it's all the stuff that he could do. This makes it clear that it's not an option. So look at his mind. He's disengaged with his mind. Can he do that when he's right here?
Look, Bane's not whining.
Right. No, Bane, you're doing very good, boy. Bane's come a long way.
His tail.
Your nub is wagging. So the social thing here, like his position within our pack and then with our community and with strangers and with the world, he's got it wrong. He thinks this is I believe a symptom of a dog who thinks they're equal. There's definitely dogs who think they're way above you and then they'll treat you that way. But the dog who thinks they're equal is like, come on, man, please, come on, it's me, No, not if you want full control. It's like your dad take a back seat and that's where you live. There is no two leaders. We don't debate it's like, well, let's take a vote. No, okay, it's me here and you below. And so he wants to be equal because he's had that type of relationship with humans before where he can be equal or above. So he knows that's an option. So he, it's not like, he was kept at the bottom back of the pack, right? So with my dynamic, he's going to learn, what it means, what the right responses are with a leader like me, and that's to be quiet and to do that. Basically, that mind, that's the escape from conflict with me. If I say no or if I shush when you do something, if you do that, you're golden. I'm going to give you a good boy and we're going to have a good time. If you keep fussing and keep doing the thing that I asked you not to, keep whining if I ask you to stop whining, keep being fussy, not doing the commands, well then we're going to have real consequences, and then that mind is a product of that. Because after being punished for being pushy like that, pushy in the social situation, because I'm talking to her and he raises his voice, you know what I'm saying? So he's being rude, but he doesn't understand that, so I need to show him with a correction, send away, I get that mind. Soon it'll just be the correction in the mind.
Yeah.
Will be right here.
Like at the pickup, when he was dropped off, he was in a down in her backseat of her car, but the entire time we were talking, he was whining. Tea kettle whining.
Yeah, It doesn't go well with my lifestyle. I'm sensitive to sound. I am, aren't I, Julie, right? Like if I'm relaxing and doing art or something, I can't just have I can't, I'm writing a book, you know, it's like, no, it's not gonna happen. So we got to work on that because, you know, I'm trying to tighten every little thing up, and that is definitely on my list. Other than that, what I do like about him is he's not a biting dog.
Mm-mm.
He's a very nice guy. He's a very sweet guy. He knows how to cuddle. He knows how to do all this stuff. I like all of that. I like, you know, I like that he's still like a dog's dog. He likes to mark. He likes to do all this stuff. He likes to be adventurous. But the relationship needs to be clear that we're not equal. And I know that's hard to hear for some people, but if you want control over him, you can't be equal. And so when he tries to, you got to think that it's like you got to think, I mean, if you don't think that's rude, then that's the problem. I think it's rude if I'm sitting here saying, hi guys, and I'm trying to lead the interaction, like taking care of the strangers we're meeting, and he's going, tossing in his 2 cents. That's rude. To me, that's rude, and it bothers me. So naturally, I'm going to deal with it. And because I deal with that, I get the benefits of a dog who doesn't try to interject when there's a situation, or when we're greeted by the outside world, people and dogs. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, it's a dynamic in the relationship to their leader and to their pack and to the world. Okay? This is the proper. Okay, I'm gonna let him back here and see what he does. And then, like, this is the best part. I'll say break, right? He's not allowed to go past me and go to you guys. And then think about that. Like, that's another correction to send away. And then I release him and he'll come over to me. He won't go up to you guys, but maybe he'll whine again. And I'll say no and send him away again. We'll keep doing this. Eventually he's gonna be able to be right here and choose that, and then realize that's the answer. And then tomorrow we'll try it again, right? Until he starts picking the answer, right? The successful behavior is that mindset right here upon seeing a new stranger or dog when I'm greeting them. When you see me greeting them, this is what you do. So it's not me telling him to sit or down, although in the future that's what it'll look like. You know, I can, but right now I want him to make all the mistakes. Just try whatever you're gonna try naturally so that I can show you the outcome so that you can stop wanting to choose them. So therefore there's no anxiety, so therefore the whining's gone. Blah, 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 blah. We talk about this, I know we talk about this all the time over and over again, but this is the job and it works really well. And the outcome, there's a Bane whine, wow.
Excuse
Bane
me?
one out.
I was just bragging about you.
Bane dropping the ball. Bane's not getting punished. Yeah, Bane's on, he gets a warning. He's on helping duty. He knows he's a special boy. He's like, yeah, I ain't in a board and train right now, dude. I'm here for vacation. He's a good boy. All right, so, Atlas, break. Good boy. Come on, let's see what he does. I don't know if he's going to go past me. Where's he going to go? Good boy. That's my guy. That's a good boy. This is how you show them all about the situation and the do's and don'ts. So we're going to continue to talk. You know, hi, how are you? And if he goes past me, he gets corrected and recalled and possibly sent away. If he starts to get, after the correction, if he calms down, he can stay here. But if he's kind of like fussy, it's like, well, to go away right now because we're trying to talk.
Yeah.
So this situation, I just love this situation because it's very clear to him what's going on here. It's a dynamic of us taking the lead of doing the conversion, the dogs relaxing and being quiet and just being passive. Okay, good. But that's not what happens when we teach dogs how to interact. We say, go say hi for the first, like, while it's still cute, we're like, do this thing we're not going to like in 6 months and then wonder why it's happening. And I'm not picking on the owner of this dog, by the way. It's just a generalization of what we do as a culture to dogs and why they end up in bad places. You know, because we do everything wrong for the first 6 months to a year and then shit hits the fan. And then we're like, we need help, you know? And so, but anyhow, that's besides the point. What the point is that this guy's learning a lot right now because now he's here and there's no whining. He's here, he's doing, look at Ben, he's doing the thing, the good thing. You missed it because when you turned it took him out of, but he's just taking in the environment. He's not being interactive with it, but he's being passive and just taking it all in. This is the state that they need to learn to carry. And pretty much this should be the default state unless you offer some type of excitement or some, when you offer it, they can kind of go into a more excited state. Well, I would like a dog to stay like this until offered, you know, at least have that ability because that's what makes them easy to live with. They're just waiting for you to do the next thing. And then if I get up, finish this conversation, I say, okay, let's go. And we go romping through the woods. We're gonna have a great time. And he's gonna, you know, we can play ball, What would he like to do? Fetch. He likes to chuck it, I think. That kind of stuff. Whatever you want to do. Get all the dog stuff out. Go swimming. Go have fun. But then as soon as we're done with that, it's back to domesticated life. And like being polite to people. And, okay? So holding him accountable for that. Look at this. This is beauty right here. This is a dog who is not thinking about other options. He's waiting for me to finish up talking. He's like, he's not even saying, man, this guy's talking a long time. He's just waiting, and he's in that perfect space of reliability. Because right now he knows, okay, so nothing is for me. I'm not allowed to go up on that, you know. But I'm not holding him back. He can. It's like he could go up there. I would just correct and we do it again and do it again until we see this and he gets rewarded here. But this type of reward, look, I'm not making it all about the dog where I'm like, yeah, and I'm getting the food and now all of a sudden the attention's on him. That's very rewarding, but it's also showing, it's also getting him socially, it's raising him up in like status socially. You know what I mean? Social status is a real thing amongst humans, and it's a real thing amongst dogs, and it brushes, you know, the species, like there's definitely a correlation between status between a dog and a human. If he feels higher up on the totem pole, he's going to treat us differently. And there's certain things that will get dogs to feel like they have status. My dog is letting him be on the couch and letting him be dominant with other dogs without putting him in his place. He's going to feel like his status is rise, and therefore, and then there's a series of behaviors that I don't like that he's more likely to perform. If we make the show all about him in these training moments, it misses the point. The whole point is to teach him that it's nothing, it's not for him, right? To come up and just wait like this. The reason why he's being like this, because he doesn't believe it's for him. It's not his party. I mean, the adults are talking, we're figuring out something, right? Just relax. If we just like lose it and throw a party and start, you know, then all of a sudden it's about him. And that just defeats the whole purpose. And now whenever you have to talk to somebody in real life, it's gonna fall apart because the dog's gonna be whining, expecting to be involved in it. So I'm not sitting here, if I were to be using food, which I'm not gonna be because none of us are hungry, you know, it's in between meals, we're good. I would just nonchalantly give him one and a pat on the head. I wouldn't do the whole, everybody tell him how good he's doing, look how great he's doing. Everybody over there, come look at my dog, look how great he's doing. He's like, I'm fucking awesome. And resources are just pouring into my mouth, food, toys, anything I want. And all I gotta do is be charming. He's got you by the hook, right? So the whole idea is that he understands that the world's not for him. Unless I've given you something and said, here, that's for you. Or, hey, you can go check that tree out. It's not for you, right? So that's what creates a dog who's nice and reliable like this and relaxed. That with him getting his outlet, because there will be times they get plenty of outlets because they're reliable, so we can do whatever we want with them. We could do whatever we want with a dog like this. What it breaks down to is that the dog doesn't feel entitled to these social interactions. They don't feel entitled to the luxuries they have in life, right? They should feel fortunate that they have them to begin with. And you can get a dog who feels that way. I know Julie has experienced it with our dogs, with Izzy especially, and Sparkles. If they're given everything constantly, they're little bitches, and I love them, but they won't listen to you. They will be a nightmare. If you put some respect into them, you're going to spend more time in the kennel. Hey, we're going to correct you for doing this nonsense like barking and peeing in the house and all, whatever, non-compliance to commands. When we do let them up with the family, they are a joy to be around because they're appreciative. You can see it on their faces. They're just like, I am so happy that I'm up here right now. They don't expect anything. Like, I'll take the floor. I don't need a bed. And so that makes me want to hang out with them. And they listen. And so they're enjoyable. So we found the balance of what do we need to give them for structure to kind of feed them the message of how they need to be feeling. And then how much do we give them part of our very edit? There's a word I'm looking for. Where is it? It's not intricate.
Intimate?
It's intimate, yes. So, how much of our intimate life do we give our dog? Hopefully all that's edited. And then it's just like, so, how much of your intimate life, what you're sharing with your dog. Gotta be a better way to
The
say
point
that.
is, we just stood here and talked, and he didn't whine a single time.
That's right. That's what the point is, and he doesn't feel like he's running the show. But I didn't give him any commands other than go. I did tell him to go, and I suppose that is a command. So, and there's the recall if I need it, you know, and I can say stay and all that. So, but right now I feel like this was a big moment for him because I think we found one of his big issues here, and it seems like a lot of it is his relation to humans and how he feels like he absolutely feels like he's equal, if not above, but definitely wants to at least nudge his way into equal, charm his way into equal. And I swear to you, as long as he believes he is, this entitlement will be there, which means he's gonna be whining at shit. It's because I want to go do this. I can't because you'll correct me on the collar, but I want to, and I know you love me. That's what it is. It's that relationship dynamic, and nobody wants to fucking hear that answer. Nobody wants to hear that answer because then that means that the work is specifically between you and the dog. There's not much. There's only so much a person can do for you because there's that dynamic is whether they feel like they're equal or above or below. They operate different in each one. So pick a position and put them in it and see which one you like best. Do you like it when they're down here? Do you like it when they're equal? Or do you like it when they feel like they're obviously above you? They will behave differently. And so a dog who believes they're below another person in the pack who claims to be the leader, which means I find it disrespectful for you to try to deal with situations. They sit back and they just let you deal with it. And we're not gonna have to keep doing this whole ritual. He's just gonna sink into that spot in the pack in his life with me. And everything's going to be easy living with him. And I'm like, I can't get this dog to fuck up. He's making all the right moves. And then he goes home. So, I mean, and we do a session with the owner to try to help get that dynamic so that she's above and he's below. Because right now, I think she does a good job. I don't think that he necessarily thinks he's above her, but I think he's charmed his way into equal. And I think that's why he's annoying. It's not like he's dangerous, he's not this. If you're like, well, is he a bad dog? Like, no. It's like, well, what's wrong with him? It's like, well, he is annoying. He can be because he wants to nudge his way into being your little sidekick. And he can't stand the fact that when you're like, I don't want to hang out with you right now. Well, what do you mean you don't want to hang out with me right now? I'm your everything. It's like, no, you're not. Go over there and be quiet. And so that, well, by the way, not just with me and you alone in the room, although I'll do that, but how about when I'm with my boyfriend or girlfriend or family members or other guests? There's going to be times where if I don't like how you're behaving, I'm going to ask you not to be a part of this, right? And so if you can't do that without whining and all this stuff, that means the dog is entitled. That means that dog believes he should be able to, even though you can hold him accountable with that collar and he won't get off. He's still complaining about it, right? That's not a very grateful dog. That is an entitled dog. That is what people call a brat and whatnot, okay? These are just the honest words of how people are talking in the industry.
Good boy,
so,
Bane.
This is a good boy, and he's not in it down. He just knows that
put
I don't
himself
want him
there.
to go there. I don't want him to run away. So he's just waiting. That's the only great option, and he knows that I like that. You know, and he can stand. If he was standing and just chilling, it'd be fine. If he was sitting, it doesn't have to be in a down, right? But he just knows that that's safe. That's safe. He knows that if we've had a disagreement about something and the situation's happening still over a resource, which this is a resource, he's just going to ignore the resource. Now, as we do this 100 times or whatever, it won't look like this. It'll look like you won't even tell what's going on. He'll just look like a normal dog, but he'll just be just the right amount of passive. He won't be trying to interact. He'll just be like that, but kind of just chill, and we can walk by and won't be over concerned about anything. We'd just be like another day. He wouldn't have any interest, or if not much at all, with other dogs, unless they were doing something remarkable like backflips or something. Then maybe he might take a second look. But they get to be pretty like blasé about it because you do this enough. They don't think it's for them. They know that there's consequences they care about when they try to make it for them or they try to speak up. So they just do this. Okay. Hey, bud. Break.
Yeah, bud.
You did a good boy. I'm very proud of
And
you.
even on break, he doesn't come over to Bane.
I'm very proud of you. No, because it's me and him. Like the cool thing is I'm treating him like my dog. I want that dynamic. I want that relationship that it's me and you and then the world. It's not you in the world and me in the world, and sometimes we have ideas together, right? It's me and you as a unit with me driving, you in the back seat, and we're going through the world, okay? And you're not back there complaining or saying, can we go this way or go that way? And you're definitely not pushing me out of the driver's seat and putting your foot on the gas and choosing where you want to go, which some dogs will do. This guy wants to be a co-rider. I'm gonna have to put him in the back seat for now. Maybe one day he could make his way up to co-rider if he ditches all the annoying habits and takes on a few responsibilities and does a good job. I will let a dog of mine be my co-pilot, which is the closest thing to equal you can be. So, but he's not ready for that. He's got to go through all this. There's still puppy stuff in there that we got to go through. Don't get scared when I say that. It's not going to take that long. He's not that messed up, but there's just little things in his dynamics between his handler that he needs to adjust. I don't think it'll be that hard for the owner to implement this stuff. She knows what she's doing. It's just a matter of maybe reminding about what the dynamic really does look like between you and your follower dog. You can't, if they're showing signs of not doing great, if you're in denial, you can't tell. Some people go into denial, but if you can tell that, hey, they're not really doing good, that's when we switch gears and we put them in the back seat and we keep him there for a while and tighten him up. And then when he's doing well, we'll let him in the shotgun again. But he starts fucking up, it's back. And so that's what I do with Riggins, because he has to learn how to be a right-hand man, how to be and how to be right there next to me. But if they fuck up, they got to go back a notch for a little while. Think of it like, it's almost like groundation. I will literally take Riggins and it's like, well, this week you're getting the board and train, you know? And I'll straighten you up and then I'll integrate you back into my life. I'm not going to go full blast, you're back. No, you can come up tonight, you know, you can come up the next night and maybe earn your way into being up all the time now. Again, in our living space, which Riggins is up all the time in our living space unless he's doing something wrong. If he's had a few bad moments throughout a week or a month, I'll lock down on him and put him through a little mini board and train, which just means structure for him, and remind him his position is below. And then when he comes back, he's great. 3 months later, do it again, right? And repeat, and that's because that's the dog we got. This guy is similar to that. He's an opportunist, but he knows how to charm his way. So I'm just teaching him what I consider to be rude and what I don't. And if you can learn to listen and just, hey, if you can take what I'm saying, your human's going to be happy. Because if you do, I'm going to show you what humans like. I'm going to show you what humans don't like, because people aren't telling you like clearly enough. I'm going to show you exactly what they don't like and exactly what they do like. They don't like that whining shit. I don't know anybody that's like, yeah, I love the sound of a dog whining. No. I love the sound of a dog pacing with nails on a wooden floor. I love the dog, you know, panting. I love the dog just not able to settle. It's not, so, look at, this is perfect. This is freaking perfect. And so I'm rewarding him for this. And he's able to stay in the situation. He's able to stay kind of my right-hand man in this moment, but in any second I'm just like, no, you're just a reminder. This is an illusion. I want you to be with me. I would love for you to be able to grow into the position in my life what I'd like you to take for me and my family, but you're about a year off from me. If I was putting my full time into him to be my family dog, I got about a year I'm looking at to get him where I can kind of ease off and let him live, and I don't have to go and train him and be on him anymore. So yeah, I hope this is making sense. We're rambling again.
But it's really a training session for him.
This is just a training. I'm trying to talk, by the way.
Yeah, we want to see if there's a whine in there.
I'm trying to go with the talking, because this is part of the session, is me and Julie talking, so why not talk to you guys?
Well, Judith will really appreciate this video.
But we're just trying to keep a conversation going to see if there's a whine in there. Like she said, like, we're not just going to be here for 5 minutes and there's no whine. Let's stay here a while.
I feel like he's not going to.
Not right now, because he already made his mistake. Yep. But we have to deal with it like that until eventually you click the button, he gets his correction, he does this. You know, he doesn't have to be sent away or anything. But I think it's very important for him to learn that when after a correction, I want you to disengage. So if that means I have to tell you you're not involved in this situation right now, it means I'll tell you, go. And let me tell you something. Trying to tell a dog to get away from you when there's guests in the house or some type of social activity, forget it. That social activity is a high value reward, okay? It's a resource. They want that. You try to tell them to go and see how hard it is to get your dog to leave that. Now, if you can get your dog to leave a social situation like that, you're doing something right, because that is very hard. So that's one of the things we teach dogs is the send away. The send away from the interaction. Like, and dogs feel entitled to be able to interact with whatever comes through their door, because they think their door. They think it's their door. No, or our door. Mommy, it's our door. No. It's my door, and you're my dog, right? So that's what I'm saying though, and I know people gotta understand what I'm saying, because there's so many dogs that are like this, where they're not quite trying to be above you, and they kind of listen, but you're like, well, then what is it? And then it's like, well, there's that equal thing. I swear to God, you'll correct a dog, and they'll literally try to charm their way into your heart or into your arms, like immediately afterwards. Some of these dogs, and you're like, no, go away from me. And then you realize they won't go away from you. They try to get into your skin, and you're like, go away. And then they're crawling on you and trying to get up your shirt, and it's unbelievable. They won't leave you. And then finally, with a few experiences, I can say go, and the dog just says, okay, and then leaves over there and waits for me. And then all of a sudden, life is easier with this dog after that one exercise. All right.